We start with Pericles, from Plutarch's Lives, translated by John Dryden, revised by Arthur Hugh Clough. Casar once, seeing some wealthy strangers at Rome, carrying up and down with them in their arms and bosoms young puppy dogs and monkeys, embracing and making much of them, took occasion not unnaturally to ask whether the women in their country were not used to bear children. By that prince-like reprimand, gravely reflecting upon persons who spent and lavish upon brute beasts that affection and kindness which nature has implanted in us, to be bestowed on those of our own kind. Didn't the Pope recently make one of those things? It's like, you selfish people and your pets, but you don't have children, well, some of those people may not be capable of having children, who knows? With like reason, may we blame those who misuse that love of inquiry and observation which nature has implanted in our souls, by expending it on objects unworthy of the attention either of their eyes or their ears, while they disregard such as are excellent in themselves and would do them good. The mere outward sense being passive in responding to the impression of the objects that come in its way and strike upon it, and perhaps cannot help being entertaining and taking notice of everything that addresses it, be it what it will, useful and unuseful, but in the exercise of his mental perception, every man, if he chooses, has a natural power to turn himself upon all occasions, and to change and shift with the greatest ease to what he shall himself judge desirable, so that it becomes a man's duty to pursue and make after the best and choicest of everything, that he may not only employ his contemplation, but may also be improved by it. For as the color is more suitable to the eye, whose freshness and pleasantness stimulates and strengthens the sight, so a man ought to apply his intellectual perception to such objects as, with the sense of delight, are apt to call it forth, and allure it to its own proper good and advantage. Such objects we find in the acts of virtue, which also produce in the minds of mere readers about them an emulation and eagerness that may lead them on to imitation. In other things there does not immediately follow upon the admiration and liking of the thing done any strong desire of doing the like, nay, many times, on the very contrary, when we are pleased with the work, we slight and set little by the workman or artist himself. For instance, in perfumes and purple dyes, we are taken with the things themselves well enough, but do not think dyers and perfumers otherwise than low and sordid people. It was not said amiss by Antisthenes, when people told him that one Ismenias was an excellent piper. It may be so, said he, but he is a wretched human being, otherwise he would not have been an excellent piper. And King Philip, to the same purpose, told his son Alexander, who once at a merry meeting played a piece of music charmingly and skilfully, "Are you not ashamed, son, to play so well? For it is enough for a king or prince to find leisure sometimes to hear others sing, and he does the muses quite honor enough when he pleases to be but present, while others engage in such exercises and trials of skill. He who busies himself in mean occupations produces, in the very pains he takes about things of little or no use, an evidence against himself of his negligence and indisposition to what is really good. Nor did any generous and ingenuous young man, at the sight of the statue of Jupiter at Pisa, ever desire to be a Phidias, or, on seeing that of Juno at Argos, long to be Apollocletus, or feel induced by his pleasure in their poems, wish to be an Anacreon, or Philetas, or Archilochus, for it does not necessarily follow that, if a piece of work please for its gracefulness, therefore that he that wrought it deserves our admiration. Whence it is that neither do such things really profit or advantage the beholders, upon the sight of which no zeal arises for the imitation of them, nor any impulse or inclination which may prompt any desire or endeavor of doing the like,